So good day once again, and welcome to another session on research methods. This time, our session will focus on scientific way of writing styles and grammar, as clarity is the key feature of scientific writing. They say we write to express and not to impress. It is essential, most especially when something is being communicated for the first time, just like in research, okay, where new knowledge, okay, to the field is shared, and absolute clarity is a requisite, okay, when writing a scientific style report. So we do not elaborate sentences by use of highfalutin words. We use simple, precise style of writing to put our points across effectively and accurately. And the discussions that we will be having today were basically adopted from several sources and generally adapted from the guide of Dr. Dermot Burns, okay, in the book, okay, entitled Writing a Scientific Style Dissertation/Report in 2017. So we begin our discussion with a session on scientific writing styles and grammar. Okay, so this session aims to achieve the following objectives. Number one, identify the general points and styles in writing reports in research. Number two, review the basic rules in writing. And number three, provide a general guide to some of the rules governing language use. So allow me to begin on general points and styles, covering sentences and vocabulary, paragraphing, double negatives, as well as abbreviations. Okay. On a general note, good grammar is necessary for all scientific writing. However, the style may differ across disciplines. Okay. So we do not intend or attempt to provide comprehensive guidelines with this discussion on different academic writing styles. Nevertheless, it will cover some of the frequently asked questions pertaining to writing correctly and accurately at the graduate and postgraduate levels. So we start with sentences and vocabulary. Okay, number one, as a matter of general rule, we use short, clear, declarative sentences. Okay, so they are easy to understand and, of course, straight to the point. Number two, we bear in mind that too many short sentences, okay, however, placed together, okay, can make your text seem abrupt or dull, okay, which is why it is prescribed that you mix up the length and complexity of your sentences in order to avoid presenting your text as monotonous and fragmented. Number three, okay, always be reminded of conjunctions. We use linking words in order to help readers see how our arguments, okay, build up to its conclusions. Okay, so words such as moreover, okay, in addition or additionally, okay, or furthermore are useful when joining two clauses together which agree with each other. Okay. On the other hand, conjunctions like however, yet, nevertheless, notwithstanding, and of course still, okay, they link two clauses, okay, that do not agree with each other. They disagree. Okay, the two clauses that disagree. Okay. The number 4, remember that the full stop or semicolon needs to be placed before linking words if you are connecting two independent clauses. Definitely not a comma. Okay, it is incorrect to splice two sentences or independent clauses together using a comma. Okay. Then number 5, scientific writing should be precise and unambiguous. So you have to be very careful when using words that you are doing so accurately. Okay. For example, do not use while if you mean although, or since if you mean because. Okay. So these are but some of the examples, okay, relating to number 5. The number 6, for clarity, keep using the same word. That is to describe the same thing. Okay. Do not vary your vocabulary. Okay. In scientific writing, as you might in literary composition. Okay. So in literary composition, you're allowed. But do not, okay, vary your vocabulary in scientific writing. So we keep a high level of consistency with our vocabulary so that our readers do not become confused. Okay, so that is the item number 6 on sentences and vocabulary. Then we move on to paragraphing. So paragraphs are written units of your thought about something, any. Okay. The way what you organize them, that you organize them into a pattern, okay, is an important factor in making your argument look logical and well ordered. Okay, so in general, okay, the rule is a paragraph should make one point. Okay, that is consistency. Okay, so recalling our elements of good writing, we have unity, okay, coherence, okay, and emphasis. Okay, so that is the thought you think as you write. Okay, the thought that you think as you write it, okay, is the way you discuss it in paragraph form. Okay. So readers, okay, will expect each paragraph to have a particular point to make. Okay. Furthermore, they will be expecting each paragraph to be linked in some way with those before and after it. So the length, the length of your paragraphs is also important. Okay. So do not overdo your paragraph. Do not have a long discussion in a paragraph. So paragraphs that are too long present your writing as under-organized and hard to follow. So on the other hand, okay, research reports, in research reports, okay, where paragraphs are short, too short, make your text look disjointed, bitty, or superficial, okay, implying that you have not developed your points enough. So a helpful suggestion is to aim for a paragraph length between 100 and 200 words. There's no such no, it's only a rule of thumb. No, when we talk about 100 and at least 100 and 200 words. So this should take up roughly a third to 2/3 of a page. Say, for example, a letter size, okay, 8.5 by 11, okay, which is observing double spacing. Okay, so do not have one paragraph in one page. Okay, at the most, Ma'am Chari, a third or 2/3 of a page. So when writing your paragraphs, think about the order of the material you are presenting. Okay, usually, so the academic paragraph follows this sequence. Okay, we have topic, main body, and then we have the conclusion or the synthesis or the wrap up. Okay, so that's how we usually, okay, do the paragraphs. So the first sentence of your paragraph is sometimes called the topic sentence, introducing your readers to the focus or to the central message, okay, or point that you want to put across. Then the body follows topic sentence, providing elaboration, elucidation, okay, evidence, maybe. We have analysis, examples, and justifications or reasoning. Then the last, being the synthesis, okay, gives a sort of a conclusion, okay, thus summing up its main message. Okay, so this is a useful formula, okay, to stick to throughout your dissertation or your research report. Okay, so that's the topic, main body, and wrap up format. Now we talk about verb tenses. Okay, so number one, when stating that as what has been done, we use simple past tense. Okay, so use of simple past tense, okay, when we do state what has been done. Okay. And obviously, we use the present tense for statements of facts. Okay, for example, if we account for the meaning of something, okay, then we usually have it in the present tense. Okay, for example, we say entrepreneurship is, okay, or development education is, okay. So that's for verb tenses. And then we have double negatives. We do not use double negatives. Okay? Instead, we write affirmative sentences. Okay, what is a double negative? So an example of which is are as follows. We have, this result is not uncommon. You see, there are two, okay, words in the sentence that are negatively stated. Okay, so we have not and uncommon. Okay, in the same way, you have the second, okay, sentence, this reaction is not unlikely to occur. So instead, you can replace them with the following. So for the first, so you may have it in this manner. This result is common. This result occurs 65% of the time. Okay. And then we have for the second one, this reaction is likely to occur, and this reaction is possible. Okay. So always remember, okay, those simple rules on sentences and vocabulary, paragraphing, verb sentences, and double negatives. Okay. Then we continue with use of only. Okay. So be careful when using the word only. Okay. So it means different things, okay, when placed in different places in sentences. Okay, so for example, okay, only the smallest group was injected with the drug. Okay, um, so meaning, okay, is no other group. Okay, so it has to be used, okay, with clarity, the word only in the sentence. What about to comprise? Sorry, that is not to compromise. That should be to comprise, okay, not compromise. So to comprise means to consider of or to contain. Okay, so it should not be used instead of to compose. So do not equate to comprise with the word to compose. Okay, so do not write is comprised of, as it is incorrect to do so. Okay, so the correct usage is a report or scientific report comprises several chapters. Okay, it is incorrect to state that a research report is comprised of several chapters. Okay, so that's insofar as the use of the word to comprise, okay, is concerned. Okay. Additionally, we also talk about abbreviations. Okay, so where in research reports we avoid such except for standard units of measurements. Okay, for example, SI prefixes, okay, referring to System International. Okay. So if you do not, if you do intend to use an abbreviation, okay, you need to introduce it by writing the word or term out in full first, okay, followed by its abbreviation in parentheses. Okay, so never to commit of having to introduce the abbreviation, okay, even before the word or term, okay, in its full, okay, format, okay, full form. Okay. Okay. Additionally, abbreviate units of measurements, okay, when they are used with numerical measurement. For example, when we talk about milligrams, so 6 milligrams was added. However, when numerals do not accompany them, okay, units of measurement should not be abbreviated. Okay. Again, however, when numerals do not accompany them, the numerical measurement such as meter, okay, kilogram, okay, we do not abbreviate the units of measurements. Okay. Also, we do not start sentences with an abbreviation. Okay. So that will be for abbreviations. And then we have academic tone, okay, jargon and slang, brevity, gender neutral language, grammar, okay, comparisons, encapsulating, down to spelling. Okay, so we start with academic tone. Okay, so it is to be always remembered that the main purpose of academic writing is to communicate ideas and arguments in an economical and clear way. So this particular session, okay, will deal with some important rules to follow in order for you to ensure your writing has an appropriate academic tone. Okay, so we begin with jargon and slang. Okay, we avoid using jargon and slang in academic writing. Okay, we use precise, accurate words and expressions instead. Okay, so in this next slide, by on jargon slang phrases to avoid, taken from the work of Heather Silene Roberts in 2000. It provides a useful list of jargon or slang phrases that we should not consider. Okay, for example, we have window of opportunity, all things being equal, at this point in time, as a matter of fact, at the end of the day, effective and efficient, conspicuous by its absence, and so on and so forth. So, believe it or not, okay, we oftentimes hear these phrases, but these are jargons and slang phrases that we need to avoid, okay, in the long run, but not last but not the least, okay, in the foreseeable future. Okay, so we also have on the right track, par for the course. Okay, uh, bottom line is, okay, slowly but surely, needless to say. Okay, so these are but some. Okay, then we have in terms of brevity. Okay, so we keep our writing clear, simple, and direct. Okay, so wordiness obscures your meaning and irritates your readers. Okay, so in scientific research, it is necessary to accurately and precisely describe experiments and analysis rather than describing the methodology in general. Okay, so for example, it is necessary to write data were analyzed by two-way ANOVA, okay, followed by Tukey's post hoc text rather than statistical analysis were carried out. Okay, so we observe concise words. Okay, we omit exist words. Okay. For example, okay, we have the following in the first column. Okay, statements that are mouthful, that are wordy. For example, these findings are preliminary in nature. A shorter way, a more concise, the element of brevity, we say, or observing brevity, we say, these findings are preliminary. Okay. In the same way, in this rather long, okay, statement, there are 5 factors that should be considered. We can have it in a more concise way. 5 factors should be considered. Okay, and so on and so forth. So we have this is a dilemma that is. So then we say this dilemma is. Okay. Another one, it is a technique that is often used. Instead, we have it in a brief manner. Okay, we say this technique is often used. Okay, so to make your writing succinct, okay, we use single words instead of phrases. Okay, we, for example, choose to mean a number of, okay, the word many or several. Okay, a small number of, okay, instead we use a few. Sorry, sino to? Number three, are in agreement. We say agree. Are found to be, instead we use are. Okay. And others. Okay. Despite the fact that, instead we use although. Okay. Due to the fact that, we say because. Okay. During that time, we say while. Okay. For the reason that. Okay. So we say because. Okay. And many more. Okay. Like has been shown to be, obviously, okay, a more succinct way to have it in our report. Okay, we replace it with the word is. Okay, so and many others. Okay, so I have outlined some of what you may be, okay, stating, okay, in your academic report, or particularly a scientific styled report. Okay, now we proceed to gender neutral language. Okay, gender neutral language. So recent academic writing guides encourage writers to choose terms that do not emphasize outdated gender roles. Okay, so we aim to write in an unbiased, gender neutral style. Whichever method you adopt, be consistent with its use throughout your report. Okay, so we have the following matrix, okay, taken from the work of Dodd for more information and examples, okay, involving outdated and gender neutral words. Okay, so we have, okay, for example, the effects of the serum were examined in mice and men. Okay, instead we have it replaced with the word humans. Okay, men suffering from skin disorders are often unaware of the treatments available. Okay, so instead of men, we use gender neutral word that is people. Okay, or in the third, okay, example, okay, we have it, okay, reworded in this way: the search for a cure for the common cold. Okay, so some specific words have become outdated and can be substituted by gender neutral terms. Okay, manpower, for example, we can use staff, workforce, labor, crew. Man-made, for example, we have synthetic, manufactured, built. Okay, so they and their, okay, can be used instead of he and his. Alternatively, we use a or the, or leave the pronoun out altogether. Okay, so that's insofar as gender neutral language is concerned. Now we proceed to grammar. Okay, so many students claim that they are unsure about grammar. Okay, and we will try to at least provide general guide to some of the rules, okay, among our masteral and doctoral students, okay, governing language use. Okay, so it does not, however, give you a complete set of grammatical rules. However, you should give enough it should be something that will give you enough information to get started. Okay, so accurate grammar is important because it is an essential and expected component of graduate or postgraduate academic writing. So without it, your text may not make complete sense, or it may be ambiguous in a way that detracts from its overall quality. So in summation, okay, you should try to be as accurate as possible with your use of grammar. You should identify the errors you make and make an effort to understand why you were wrong, okay, why you have, okay, what mistake you have committed and why the correction should be made. Okay, so it is suggested also that you keep a checklist of mistakes in order for you to develop a habit of consulting reference works as well as using electronic grammar checkers, just like, for example, in MS Word, okay, in order to maintain a consistently accurate approach to academic writing. Okay. So we start with comparisons. Okay, so confusion over using comparisons often occurs in students' work. Okay, particularly with words ending in er and est or est, and words more and most. Okay, so you should, okay, familiarize or to call to mind, okay, words, okay, that oftentimes is used in making comparisons. Also, in the use of commas, okay, using commas when describing can also confuse some writers. Okay, so commas can change the meaning of the sentences dramatically. Okay, so wrong placement would lead your sentence erroneous or to mean different thing. Okay, so it is important that you have to be aware of the proper placement of commas. Then what about encapsulating? Okay, so encapsulating is where a single word is used to refer to a previous word or idea. For example, many factors have an impact on water quality. Okay, so this increases, okay, during this and that. Okay, so the sentences should read, many factors have an impact on water quality in bodies of water like lakes. Okay, so this impact increases during summertime. Okay, and okay, and yeah, so that is all about, okay, use of single word, okay, to refer to previous word or idea. Okay, encapsulating. Then we have also connecting words. Connecting words such as because, but, and are all called conjunctions. As I already have introduced it at the start of our discussion, they are used to join two clauses. Okay? They should not be used to begin sentences. Okay, so that is for connecting words. Then what about for prepositions? Okay, you should not place prepositions at the end of sentences. Okay, do not place prepositions at the end of sentences. Okay, pronouns. Okay, you need to remember always that pronouns need to agree with the verb in the sentence. Okay, pronouns need to agree with the verb in the sentence. Then spelling. So word processors have spell checkers that make life easier for you as researchers. However, you need to keep a vigilant eye on your spelling, particularly for those specialist terms, okay, which are particular to your discipline and topic. Okay, so